Alright guys, welcome back to our first LP of Shogun 2 Total War. Now, where we left off right at the focus of these Oda rebels, these troublemakers, these hooligans who are trying to oppose our authority, our daimyo's right to rule this land. Once we have taken care of these rebels, we will control the province of Owari without any competitors. Aside of that, from the Saito and the Tokugawa, we won't have any internal conflicts going on. We'll be one unified people with one unified cause. Now, let's see here. What does this guy have? Okay, he has one Yari Ashigaru and one Bo Ashigaru. So, let's see. I'm gonna guess that this is probably going to be his general, which will be more than likely be cavalry units. And the second one could probably be another Yari Ashigaru. Don't really know, but we'll find out soon. As you can see, we also have our cavalry. And we have one Yari Samurai, 3 Ashigaru units, and 1 Bo Ashigaru. So, that will be fairly good. Our general's name is Takayama Muniyori. And as you can see, again, all of our units, we are more than adequately equipped for this job. I'm not too worried about casualties. We should be able to handle our own pretty well. But what we're going to do now, since we actually have quite a good amount of yen, which is about 3,000, what we're going to do is we're going to upgrade our province a bit. What we're going to want to upgrade first, I believe, will be our rice paddy to improved irrigation. As you can see, that gives us a bonus to our wealth, and it also increases our food to 2. And now what food is used for is when we upgrade our castle, or when we get other castles that will take food. And now, next thing I build will probably not be a harbor, yet just because I think I'm going to stick with roads, because that's going to increase our movement speed by 30%, and it also adds a 2% bonus to our replenishment rate to our troops, which will be good. Speaking of troops, I'm going to get some Yari Ashigaru and 1 Bo Ashigaru, just so that way we have a nice little town defense, just in case anything were to go wrong, just to act as a little buffer, because I'm not too worried about our army out here. I think our army can pretty much handle its own. It should be fairly good, so let's send them straight into combat. And as you can see, our enemy, the Oda Morinaga, has a cavalry unit and another extra pair of Yari Ashigaru right here. So, as you can see, we obviously have the advantage in numbers. We have about 960 compared to their 620, so we're going to hop right into this battle. We're going to hope for the best at the Battle of Nagoya in the year 1545. Oh boy. Battles. You guys will get to taste your first battle of war in Shogun 2. Should be very, very gory since we had that Blood Pack DLC installed. Don't know if we'll see any dismemberments. I do know they add some cool, I don't know if the fight animations were already in the base game. There are a few fight animation tweaks that I've noticed with this DLC, which are kind of cool. I think, yeah, you should be able to see some of the Yari Ashigaru. When they fight each other, they'll kind of like grind their spears up, you know, bash each other with their spears and try to beat each other with it. It's quite fun. So let's see if I believe they actually added speeches back in, because I know Rome Total War was the only game that actually had a speech system in it. So whenever, you know, your general would enter battle, he would give his troops a speech. They would cheer his name and glory and praise the Roman Emperor and march off to battle. So let's see if we get that option. Alright, now our first choice is weather conditions. Now we get three choices to change the weather. As you can see, our current weather is dry, and what we want are no adverse effects unless they'll benefit us. But as of right now, we really don't need anything. So what we can do is we can click Start Deployment and get right into the battle. So here we are at our troop deployment phase. Now all this is going to be used for, if you guys have seen my Rome Total War LP, you guys will know what this phase is. All we're going to do is just line up our troops, get a beauty shot of our troops, nice animations going on. Our Yari Ashigaru and Samurai Yari Samurai are all lined up in the back with our archers leading in the front. So what we're going to do is we're going to line up our archers. We're going to spread them out because I think spreading them out actually increases their firing range. Because if you look at the diameter of their range kind of gets a little bit bigger as they group out, but it also gets, I believe, a little bit smaller. So the closer they are together, the narrower but longer I think they can shoot. So what we're going to do is we're going to line up our Yari Ashigaru right behind them, and I don't like that quite yet. They're not quite straight. I like my units to be as orderly as possible just because it makes managing them so much easier. Get that unit lined up. We get these guys lined up right here in front of the Yari Samurai. Straighten them out a bit. Alright, looks good to me. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the Yari Samurai and I'm going to put them on, I'm going to put them on the right flank along with our general, because what I like to usually have is a secondary, like, small little task force. And what I use them for is kind of like a flanking group, just so that way we can get around the enemy. Start the ring the gong. And as we can see, we'll pause it right here. Our enemy has chosen to take the high ground. Now, the AI in this is actually fairly pretty good. Creative Assembly has said that they actually follow Sun Tzu's Art of War laws. So basically, the AI is going to always take the high ground if they have the chance, since it does give them perks. But this gives us an advantage. We'll be able to attack them from two sides. So this flanking thing is going to work pretty well. So we're going to move our secondary group there, and we're going to move our primary attack force right here on this middle way up this hill. And I don't think our guys are going to line up properly, so what we're going to have to rearrange them. Let's get our Yari Ashigaru lined up right here. Should be good. Then we're going to get our bow bow Ashigaru out front, and we're going to set them to loose formation so that we don't take too much damage from oncoming arrow fire. We're going to unpause the game. We're going to speed it up. Watch our troops charge off to glorious battle. Alright, looks like they weren't supposed to be running. We don't want them to be running because we don't want them to tire out so easily. So we're going to move over here. As you can see, they have their bow out in front there, and their two units of Yari Ashigaru right behind, along with their cavalry. Now what I'm speculating is we're going to try to get their bows as close as they can to start targeting their troops without them targeting our bow troops. And this, I'm going to speculate that their cavalry units, since they got this kind of secondary thing, I have a feeling they might try to flank our troops. So what I'm going to do is I want to put a unit there, and I want to try to get our Yari Samurai over here to kind of distract some of their forces, so it makes it easier for our main force to get up that main hill and do some damage to their troops. Alright, looks like all of our guys are pretty much lined up, so let's put this back to a normal gameplay speed. And it's looking good, and what we're going to do is we're going to get our Yari Samurai lined up here, and I hope that distracts one of their units at least, gets their attention, so that way they come running down this hill, and we can get our archers in a nice, good firing position. Get our Yari Ashigaru, and looks like their bow Ashigaru took the bait, which is good and bad. If the archers are distracted, it's a good thing, but it looks like our Yari Samurai could be taking some fire. Let's see. Doesn't look like they're taking any hits yet, so we're going to move up our bow unit. We're going to move up our Yari Ashigaru right behind them. Alright. Looks like they're within firing range, so we're going to fire right on their guys. Deal some flanking archer damage. Looks like our Yari Samurai have taken about 2 casualties, set them all to loose formation. And here come our arrows screaming into their guys, and it looks like our bow Ashigaru got the attention of their Yari, so we're going to send 2 of our guys to counter their 1. We're cheap like that, and we're going to overwhelm them with sheer numbers. Since they have the uphill advantage, but we'll just overwhelm them with so many troops. And here they come, Running to the archers. Come on, guys, quickly. Spears are down, and they're charging to the enemy. Ooh, and it looks like one of our guys got impaled right away. That's not a good way to go. Guys, looks like these two guys right here are gonna fight. Ooh. Who's gonna come out top? And not our guy. Ooh. Well, I think he might have gotten away out of that. Good. If he did, he's a good soldier. Now, one of the things I like about the Blood Pack DLC is if you can look on some of their flags, they're kind of red, and it kind of adds that, you know, really good kind of war effect on there. It makes it kind of look realistic, I guess you could say, like it would have been back in those days. But, alright, so stop our units from attacking, line them up here as a defensive formation, holding that choke point on the hill. Get our Yari Samurai to engage those archers since they're distracted with our archers. We're also going to move this group of Yari over here just in case that cavalry group tries to try anything. And we're going to have this Yari try to engage them. We're going to move this guy up, that right there. So that way if the horses do attack, we can regroup easily. And effectively, sorry. Alright, looks like everything's going good. And actually, it looks like their Yari are on the move. Looks like their horses are on the move. So we're actually going to get our guys over here. And... oh, it doesn't look like our Yari Sam are going to get the bow troops. We're going to have them attack those guys. Those guys attack the horses, and... yeah, we're just going to have these guys attack that. It looks like their bow troops are going to get distracted, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to move our general over here, get behind their line, charge right into their archers from behind, and get them in the butt. Or, you know what I mean, more or less, we're just going to charge. For some reason, whenever I see horses in a Total War game, I just have to yell for Gondor, and what are you guys doing? No! Oh, no, not the archers. The archers don't move. Horses, attack the archers. Looks like our Yari made short work of their horses. And here come our cavalry. Bam, right into their line. Massive damage dealt. Alright, and there we have it. Victory. Easily earned, I would say. A little too easy. But that's what we get with rebels. We'll end the battle here. Victorious, presenting our head of the severed head of our fallen enemies to our daimyo and to our general, or vice versa, to our general first, and then the general will take them to the daimyo and make an example of those rebels. Inspire fear into some of the people that would think against us, but also showing our resolve in becoming Shogun of Japan, since it, after all, is the rightful place of the Yoda. Now, I'm not too sure after this. Now, after this, what we're going to have to be focusing on is more or less our borders. I think the enemy might try something, but as you can see, we only lost about 126 units, but the rebels paid the ultimate cost with losing all of their men. So, and as you can see too, we also managed to get a little bit of levels for our troops. Our samurai greatly increased in level, our general, and one of our Yari Ashigaru and one of our Bo Ashigaru. Cut them down where they stand and let their corpse tear out. Yes. Mission is successful and we get inspired endeavors as a reward. Excellent. So now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into the Mastery of the Arts, and under the Bushido tab I'm going to we're going to focus on getting to the way of the spear, since we mostly use spears. So we're going to research Bushido. That should give us a bonus to our combat. And I'm thinking about later on, we're going to probably dabble a little bit in the way of Chi, just so that way we can get some of the economic bonuses, and so that way we can have a prospering nation. Now that our rebel army is defeated, we have to turn our attention to the Saito and the Tokugawa. Now what I'm going to do is, while our guys are replenishing, I'm going to get them as close to our city of Owari, as close as we can, so that way if any guys do come in, they're going to be kind of more or less distracted by this outside army, so it kind of acts as a buffer. As you can see on the diplomacy screen map, as the Yoda, we are pretty much detested by every single nation on the island of Japan. Except for our allies, the Kitabatake, Kitabatake. My pronunciation is horrible. And this unknown faction right here, which I'm going to guess are the Takeda. I hope so. We could use their horses. But the sad thing in this game is all of our allies will eventually become our greatest adversaries. Usually they're just merely tools in this battle, but in this beginning stage, we're going to need allies, as the Saito are obviously hostile with us. And the Tokugawa are obviously hostiles with us, but they are also vassals of the Imagawa. The Imagawa have two more provinces, so they're a little bit more of a they're a little bigger nation than us, but they won't be for long. The Saito, however, their power is not much of a threat as it is the Tokugawa and the Imagawa. So we're going to contact our allies, and we're going to request an alliance. As you can see, this deal is satisfactory, so they're going to accept it pro bono. Now, we have an ally in this effort. We're not alone in this world. And another thing to note is that in this game you have an honor system. And doing things such as prematurely ending this alliance will actually lower our daimyo's honor. And kind of declaring war on this clan, just out of pure fashion, will also harm diplomatic relations with other factions. If we just go out just wildly declaring war on everybody we find without reason, it will kind of hurt us in the long run. So we're not going to do that. So what I'm tempted to do is to request them to join our war. But as you can see, their power is fairly weak and their prosperity is meager. So I don't think I'm going to ask that of them yet. I don't want to have to strain our ally more than we have to. After all, they are our allies and we are looking out for each other. But I think this will be a good stopping point for our video. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this recording of Shogun 2 Total War. Be sure to follow my channel, like, favorite this video, and be sure to subscribe. So thank you guys for watching, and bye!